Alright, just as a heads up, I'm going to be trying something a little different with this one by scripting it instead of the more freestyle method I used in the previous vlog. With that said, hi, this is Aaron, and this is my gameplay vlog for Braid for my LMC 4725 video game design class. Also, for the sake of transparency, I'll say that I've actually played Braid in its entirety before taking this class, so what you'll be seeing in the background is some gameplay I recorded for this vlog on my completed save file of me doing a part of the speedrun challenge for the game. So, Braid. Let's talk about that. Braid, created by Jonathan Blow in 2008, is a puzzle platformer where the main objective is to use various time-manipulating puzzle mechanics in order to collect a series of puzzle pieces that are scattered throughout each level. The game's first world, World 2, serves both as a tutorial of your character's basic abilities, and a way to get the player accustomed to the nature of the puzzles in this game without being too difficult. Later worlds eventually add in new mechanics, like green objects in World 3, which are immune to time reversal, or purple objects in World 5, which can be interacted with by the shadows of the player or other creatures. But even just playing the game's first world gives a pretty good idea of both the game's tone, its level of difficulty, and the kind of thinking you'll be required to do in order to progress. So, let's move on to the game's visuals. The art direction Braid takes is intentionally meant to make it feel almost like a living painting. The backgrounds flow like paintbrushes on a canvas, and even the more static foreground environments have a certain life to them that makes the game simply a pleasure to look at. Of course, I couldn't leave this topic without mentioning the Super Mario Bros. Series, where it seems some of Braid's enemy designs were inspired by. This is complemented even more by the peaceful soundtrack, which is a joy to listen to, and it gives the game a feeling of serenity and slowness that can help take the edge off of the sometimes frustrating puzzles lying beneath these aesthetics. Now, speaking of the puzzles, I have to say that in my initial playthrough of the game years ago, I can't recall ever having found the puzzles in Braid all that frustrating myself, but they certainly are challenging, especially as you progress further into the game. And I have no trouble imagining how those with less patience for puzzle games might feel after enough time getting stuck somewhere. Here's where I'd say Salen and Zimmerman's concept of the magic circle might fit into this topic. While the magic circle would much better relate to Jonathan Blow's later game, The Witness, I do feel that those who are heavily interested in puzzle games could very well find that they get sucked into a kind of magic circle when playing this game. As previously mentioned, the art and sound design create an almost soothing environment for the player to solve puzzles in, and I think this aspect of things definitely helps make it easy to get invested quickly and lose track of time in the process. Finally, let's talk about the game's narrative. There's not really a good place to put this either, since the game's story is sort of a side piece to the actual gameplay. Basically, at the beginning of each world, there are a series of books that, as your character walks by them, they open and reveal a paragraph or two about something that Tim, the main character, did or had done in his past that in some way relates to his current goal, a search for his princess. Given this structure, it's very easy for an uninterested player to simply walk by all of them without reading, as you've probably already seen in the gameplay clip. But the story is told in sometimes vague blurbs, and generally it's made in such a way to let the player fill in a lot of the gaps themselves. Ultimately, this gives off a sort of mysterious vibe to the whole story, which, while entirely disconnected from the vast majority of the gameplay, I still think could enhance the game overall for those interested in reading it. Anyway, that's all for the vlog this time. I'm curious which method for vlogs works better, this one or the more on-the-cuff, non-scripted style. Professor, if you are watching this, feel free to let me know which one you think comes across more effectively. With that said, tune in next time for my vlog on 80 Days. See ya.